We return to our top story. UK is on the alert, bracing for more riots across the country, but it's not the UK alone. Similar trend of far-right violence is being observed in rest of Europe as well. For more on this, let's go across to DW Correspondent Kate Ferguson in Berlin. Kate, like the United Kingdom, how big is the problem of far-right violence in Europe?
It's a serious problem. In both Germany and France, far-right attacks are rising. And in both of those countries, it's not just immigrants or Muslims that are being targeted, but also politicians of a more liberal persuasion. At the same time, support for right-wing political parties is also increasing, whether that's the Alternative for Germany here or the National Rally in France. And in fact, that potential link, so political rhetoric on one side and violence on the other, that has come under scrutiny in Europe, because in the UK, some of the rioters were heard chanting, "Stop the boats." That's a slogan the previous Conservative government had used to describe the very controversial plan to deport migrants to Rwanda. Now, Britain's new Prime Minister, Keir Starmer, has since abandoned that policy, calling it dead and buried. But the sentiment behind it appears to be inspiring some of these violent protests.
And how are the authorities dealing with this disturbing trend?
Well, here in Germany, the government actually has an official strategy to fight right-wing extremism. It was unveiled earlier this year, and it includes measures like freezing bank accounts and combating hate speech and misinformation online. There's even a plan to use sports as a way to promote democratic values and entice people away from the far-right scene. Now, we should say this is quite urgent work. There are about 20,000 far-right crimes registered in Germany every year, and that trend is rising. But whether we're talking about Germany, France, the UK or any other European country for that matter, politicians have to find a way to make the topic of immigration less inflammatory and to communicate its positive effects on the labour market, for example, while also listening to those who have genuine concerns. And in the current charged atmosphere, that is not always the easiest of tasks.
Kate, appreciate you joining us with those updates from Berlin. And still to come on DD India Global.